Good morning, viewers. I am Charles Moses, and this is Morning Cruise on Paluchin TV, where we bring you exciting and informative content from different segments of the program. I won't be doing this alone. I have my co-host with me in the studio, Mimuna. Good morning,
Hello,
Mimuna.
good morning, Patience. How are you doing
Good.
today? Good to have you
Yes,
here.
you're looking great.
Thank
this
you
morning.
so much. Hello, good morning, viewers. I am Nimuna Bagudu. Welcome to the Morning Cruise. Just as Chat Moses earlier stated, we'll be having lots of insightful segments for you on the program. But first, let's go on a quick break. We'll be back shortly.
Welcome back. We're moving on to news updates.
Hello there and welcome to the news update. I am Mimuna Bagudu. The federal government is enthralled by the recent initiative of Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited to help save the Naira, but there were also some eyebrows raised. Although the federal government accepted the NNPC's announcement that it had received a $3 billion emergency crude oil repayment loan from the African Export-Import Bank to help stabilize the Naira and help in lowering petrol prices, analysts suspect that the National Oil Corporation still operates as a government department despite its recent transformation to a fully commercial, profit-oriented corporation. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu should prioritize long-term national interest over temporary relief and immediately begin radical reforms in the organization. The NNPC has long been known for fiscal recklessness and lack of accountability as shown by numerous reports by domestic and international authorities, as well as revelations at numerous legislative hearings. Its outward transformation took place last year in accordance with the Petroleum Industry Act, which mandated its reform. Many observers agree that the transition from a state corporation to a limited liability company is largely cosmetic. Its long history as a state appendage enmeshed with the power of the government has clarified its state-centric habits in the last 3 weeks. Petrol prices had risen to 590 naira to 620 naira per litre and then falling to 570 naira to 600 naira per litre. The Nigerian Institute of Public Relations (NIPR) held its 7th annual General Meeting Conference and elections for new leaders in Abuja. The theme of the meeting and the annual conference is leadership, public relations, and value creation. Chat Moses has the full report.
The Nigerian Institute of Public Relations held its 7th annual General Meeting, Conference and elections for new leaders. The outgoing president and chairman of the Council Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, Mukhtar Zubairu Siraju, expressed gratitude for the opportunity given to him to serve the institute for 2 terms. He noted that the PR Institute is aware of the challenges that Nigerians are facing due to the difficult but necessary decision of the federal government to remove fuel subsidy, and hoped that all palliative measures are in place to cushion the effects of this step on citizens. Speaking on the Institute's support for democracy as a system of leadership, he stated that the Institute is against the use of force as a form of conflict resolution, and on that note, condemned the actions of Nigerian coupists in taking over power from democratically elected leaders.
We are clearly opposed to the use of force as a strategy of conflict resolution. Our stance on diplomatic dialogue is also born out of the dire consequences of any military option which is capable of throwing the region into further conflict escalation. The resultant refugee crisis, loss of human lives, assets, and the huge budgetary implications given the fiscal challenges currently being faced by most countries in the sub-Saharan Africa. Nigeria's position is tangential to the Republic of Niger, putting her in a position to face many adverse repercussions that may arise from military action.
Surajo further expressed gratitude to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for appointing Idris Malagi as Minister of Information and National Orientation, as well as Bashir Adewale Adeniyi as the Comptroller General of the Nigerian Customs, noting that they are both members of the PR Institute. He pledged his support and commitment to work with both parties to push forward the mandate of the nation. Also, while giving his presentation, the guest speaker of the event, Mr. Lampe Omoyele, urged PR practitioners to be inclusive in all they do and not just focus on communication field. He added that fields like PR in medicine, engineering, law, and many other fields can be considered. Moses Patience Chats reporting for Value Chain TV.
Nigerians' unemployment rate has dropped to 4.1% in the first quarter of 2023 from 5.3% in the fourth quarter of 2022. The National Bureau of Statistics revealed this while presenting the Nigerian Labour Force Survey report for fourth quarter 2022 and first quarter of 2023. Chat Moses reports.
According to the National Bureau of Statistics report, Nigeria's unemployment rate rose to 33.3% in March 2021, the highest level in at least 13 years and the second highest level in the world. The report indicated that the nation's lingering economic crisis, which was compounded by the coronavirus pandemic, pushed the unemployment rate to 27.1% in the second quarter of 2020.
After the publication that we have during the COVID-19 era or period, that is Q4 2020 labor force figure, which was significantly reduced by the COVID-19 lockdown, it became necessary for us to re-examine the methodology and approach for conducting the labor force survey.
With the country's economy going into recession in 2016, the unemployment rate has more than quadrupled. As a result, a virtual meeting of the National Economic Advisory Council and the World Bank was held to discuss Nigeria's data collection practices for employment statistics.
This kind of data periodically helps government, helps all of us figure out what's going well, what's working well, where the problems are, what kind of interventions are needed, what kinds of policies and programs are needed, and in general, just to take the pulse of how are Nigerians doing.
The Statistician General of the Federation, Prince Adeyemi Adediran, while presenting the report, said provisions will be made for employment with the minister's support, assuring that the launch of the report will bring about positive changes in figure and methodology.
Using the new ILO definition, the survey showed that unemployment rate for the fourth quarter of 2022 stood at 5.3%. And for the first quarter of 2023, it was 4.1%.
There were goodwill messages from the Central Bank of Nigeria and the International Labour Organization. Chat Moses reporting for Value Chain TV.
The former Kaduna chapter chairman of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, Alhaji Bashir Adamu Chidi, has been elected with 16 orders to serve on the Governing Council of the NIPR for the next 2 years. The election is the high point of the 2023 conference and annual general meeting of the Institute, which held at the NAF Conference Center in Abuja. Rema O has the full detail.
Alhaji Chedi emerged fourth in the ranking of votes in the election described by many as the most keenly contested in the history of the Institute. The former chairman ranked next to Dr. Ike Neliaku, who emerged as president and chairman of council in the collegiate voting, which followed the general ballot. Although a former council member, Alhaji Chedi has been described as a dark horse in the race whose eventual feat followed a robust campaign ahead of the elections and sustained horse trading and strategic alliances by his campaign team and delegation from the chapter in the build-up to the actual voting. His emergence in the council for a second outing after serving in the same capacity in the past is reckoned as coming on the heels of recent spate of a growing recognition of the Kaduna chapter's numerous trailblazing initiatives. While congratulating the new council member, former vice president of the institute, Dr. Mohammed Awal Haruna, noted with delight that his victory will signify re-engagement of Kaduna chapter in the affairs of the institute, adding that NIPR will benefit from Alhaji Chedi's vast experience and professionalism. Alhaji Chedi was at different times chapter secretary and chairman on 2 separate outings, including serving as council member and in several national standing committees in his voyage of over 3 decades in the institute. He is a mass communication graduate of Bayero University and he holds a postgraduate diploma in corporate management law, a master's degree in international affairs and diplomacy, as well as business administration. He is currently the director of corporate communications, commercial and public relations at Donye Aviation Nigeria, AIEP Kaduna. Adabi Rema Ogwejofo, reporting for Value Chain TV.
That is all for the news update. Thanks for watching. I am Nimana Babudu.
Okay, still morning cruise, and we're moving on to newspaper review, where we're looking at major headlines and the daily newspapers in the country. Mimuna, we're going to start with The Nation. What do you have for us on The Nation?
Okay, so on The Nation newspaper, we have Olawale Edun, who happens to be the Minister of Finance, and also he'll be coordinating the Minister of the Economy for Nigeria. And he has this to say: hyperinflation, low GDP per capita to end soon. And we have, I am under pressure over Niger junta, says Tinubu. Speed up through talks, President tells Ulama. And still on The Nation newspaper, on the top we have hold governors accountable for palliative, says Tinubu. You can find this on page 4 of The Nation newspaper. And then also we have APC leaders step into Sanwo-Olu assembly role. Why nominees were stopped. You can read this story on page 28 of The Nation newspaper. And just still on The Nation newspaper, Ondo governor overrules Akure monarch over market closure. Potholes endanger lives on 3rd Mainland Bridge. You can find that on page 29 of The Nation newspaper. Okay, so we're still on The Nation newspaper with more headlines. President graduated in 1979. Chicago Varsity replies Atiku, and why we can't release academic records to plaintiff. And then lastly, on The Nation newspaper, Zimbabwe opposition leader claims rigging.
Great headlines there.
Yes.
Still on newspaper review, we're going to be looking at major headlines. And the major story there says, Naira crumbles to 920 per dollar. Fuel marketers push for fuel price hike. And just beneath that, fuel price can't remain at 617 naira, with naira falling below 900 naira per dollar. This is from the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN. Nigerians back subsidy removal. Federal government replies Obaseki. Labour wants NNPCL probe. And victims from building collapse in Abuja says, falling slabs trapped us while fleeing Abuja collapse building. Still on The Nation newspaper, ECOWAS military action won't yield positive results in Niger. Russian convoy. This is on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. Federal government makes 2 trillion naira taxes from Google, Facebook, and foreign firms. This is based on a report. You can find this report on page 28 of the Punch newspaper. Culture minister steal a copper, group alleges. And still on the Nation newspaper, federal government faces heavy criticism over 4.1% unemployment data. Family faults army's silence on senator's aide allegedly killed by rogue soldiers. And lastly on the Punch newspaper, Nigerians stranded in UK victims of visa scam. And this is on page 7 of the Punch newspaper. Over to you, Mimuna.
Okay, thank you so much, Patience. And lastly, on the newspaper review, we have Daily Trust newspaper with the major headlines. Niger crisis, cow sheep shortage looms as border closure bites harder. And we have still underneath, supply reduced by 50% in Borno, 70% in Katsina. My date in 4 trucks grounded, says a trader. Largest cattle market in Jigawa desolate. And Tinubu asks clerics to dialogue further with Jota. So you can find all of the stories on page 4 and page 6 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Working for 1 hour shows you are employed, NBS tells Nigerians. Patience. Working for 1 hour shows you are employed, NBS tells Nigerians. You can find the story on page 10 of the daily newspaper. And still on the Daily Trust, Dangote beats MTN, Globacom, banks to emerge most valuable brand in Nigeria for 6 years.
Wow, that's
This
a great
is so
achievement.
very impressive. I beg your pardon. You can find this on page 20 of the Daily Trust newspaper. And then also we have my educational records not relevant to Atiku's petition, Tinubu tells US court. These can also be found on page 13 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Japa, Nigerians stranded in UK after emptying savings on travel. This story can be found on page 10 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Now, Patience, I want us to look at this Japa thing.
Japa syndrome.
It's really Japa syndrome. It's really a trending thing. And I really don't see this Japa thing fading off anytime soon, because Nigerians are, looking at the country presently as things are going, out of hand. Exactly. So leaving Nigeria for another country, which is, like you said, the Japa syndrome, is a way of making ends meet or looking for a better future for Nigerians. But it's funny that some people go the extra mile. You hear stories about some Nigerians leaving the country with little or no money. Maybe they've been able to, sort out their visa fee, their flight fee, and they go to another man's land. You don't know anybody with no penny saying that, no be to reach there. When I get there,
I'll find my way
out. So and over time, some people, Nigerians have been facing some of these things, and I really hope that people are informed and aware. It's not a bad thing to Japa, but if you want to Japa, you should at
Make
least
sure you have enough cash in your bank
cash.
account.
Exactly. So we're still on the Daily Trust newspaper. Man, wife arrested for stealing neighbor's 2-year-old son. You can see this on page 16 of the Daily Trust newspaper. And then also Tinubu's economic performance to attract investments to Nigeria, says Vice President Kashim Shettima. The story can be found on page 5 of the Daily Trust newspaper. And then lastly, we have Wike orders owners arrest as 2 killed in Abuja building collapse. You can find this on page 16 of the Daily Trust newspaper. So if you want to read out more of, rather get more details or more information on all of these major headlines were reviewed on the newspaper review, you can grab any of the newspaper, I beg your pardon, from any vendor to get more information. So next is commodity market. Let's take a look at the prices on the commodity table. Okay, so patients, you can see on the commodity market that the naira has crumbled to $920. So, we hope that the price keeps, the rate keeps coming down so that foodstuffs and other things can be on the moderate. Exactly. So, viewers, let's go on a short break. We'll be back shortly.
Agriculture is not in one ministry. So when you have a Minister of Agriculture and you expect to have food security, yeah, that's half of the story.
Who is responsible for the accumulated emissions in the atmosphere?
So all you need to do is to develop those kind of strategies. Bring back the strategic reserves so that when you produce rice, you produce millet, you store them in that certain climate.
Okay, so we've seen the trendy video or the trendy accusation. Yes, because it's an accusation when you are not sure. And this brings us to talking about spreading of fake news, which is not palatable at all. If you're not sure about an information or a news, don't go around spreading it to other people. This is really bad because at the end of the day, you get to find out that one story has different versions, and these versions are not good versions. When you hear these stories, you'll be like, are you sure it's me that is inside the story that they're talking about? So there's been a trending issue about the current FCT minister who was accused or assumed that he got a 300 million naira bulletproof SUV with the plate number FCT001. Now, I know you've seen that video, but it really caught my attention because I felt, I'm not sure Wike would want to flaunt these things presently now, knowing fully well that Nigeria is not in the right state to want to flaunt all of these things. But hey, Wike has been able to clear the air with journalists. He said that he never got a 300 million naira bulletproof car for himself, neither from the federal government. So people should go check out the car and then they should see if that car is really worth 300 million naira and it's a bulletproof
and they
car.
should confirm if he actually bought it or if he was even inside the car.
300 million naira is a whole lot of money, and this money can be able to go a long way. Go a long way when you want to talk about maybe trying to fix one or two things in our present tight corner that we are in as a country. So 300 million naira is not a joke. So Wike has been able to clear the air to say that he never got a 300 million naira bulletproof SUV. Neither did the federal government actually gave him this vehicle. So we have the video where he was clearing the air with journalists in Abuja.
I can see what's going on social media, how they bought a car, bulletproof car of 300 million naira that I'm using. So I want you to go and hit your hand there and see really whether it is a treated car. With all due respect, people should be careful not to other people. So when I came, the permanent secretary said they have a car for us and that the car we use is this. So I have never approved any car to be bought and I'm not using official bulletproof car, no. When I have cars as governor, yes. As I was governor, well, what do you expect? I should have what? So, but I'm not using bulletproof car as FCT minister. So we should report the right thing and not ourselves. So I want you to take a look of that car where you have a flag, whether it is bulletproof car. Thank you.
Okay, Mimuna. So judging on the video we just looked at, I'm sure Nigerians have been cleared.
And then we
And-
have to give a strong word. Be
Yes,
careful
yes.
how you spread fake news. Be careful because this news can actually dent someone's image or bring that person down. It's not a good thing to spread an information that you're not really sure of.
That's true. So still on the program, then this leads us to the last and most interesting part of the program. We're moving on to entertainment gist, and like on the entertainment gist, we're having something similar to entertainment news. Okay. Well, that's true. And this leads us next to the last and final segment of the program, entertainment news. And the news on entertainment news today, I have talking about wealth and cars and all these things. Just recently on his Twitter page, Burna Boy was actually laughing when a report came out saying that his net worth is $22 million. And he laughed off and he was like, they are not even close to.
Wow.
Like, they are not
Okay.
close. So I was like, okay, so what's his net worth? How much is he worth? So today on entertainment news, I made a compiled analysis of the net worth of top 5 Nigerian artists, and we're going to be looking at them, and looking through, we're going to now finally see how much exactly is Burna Boy worth. So enjoy it.
First on our list of the top 5 Nigerian artists with highest net worth in 2023 is Nigerian singer and leader of the 30 billion gang, Davido. He is considered to be the richest musician in Africa, not just Nigeria, with a net worth of over $90 million. Davido owns the HKN music record with his brother and has signed many Nigerian artists into the music industry. He has houses in Banana Island and a Gateway mansion in Georgia, USA. Davido is also one Nigerian musician with top taste in luxury cars, and they include a 2019 Rolls-Royce, a Bentley Bentayga, a Bentley Continental GT, a Range Rover Sport, a Chevrolet Camaro, an Audi R8, an Audi Q7, a Mercedes G-Wagon, and a Toyota Land Cruiser, to mention but a few. Nigeria's starboy Wizkid comes second on our list. The singer's net worth is valued at 15 billion naira, which is $70 million. Wizkid, who now owns Starboy Entertainment, owns also a 13 million naira mansion in Surulere and Los Angeles. The Starboy owns a private jet and has a collection of cars that include a 2021 Rolls-Royce, a 2019 Lamborghini, a 2019 Lamborghini Urus, a G-Wagon, and a Porsche Panamera, amongst others. Don Jazzy, CEO of Marvin Record, is third on our list. He has acquired a lot of wealth through being in the Nigerian music industry. The billionaire's net worth is valued at 37 billion naira, which is $55 million. The record label boss owns 3 mansions in Lekki, Banana Island, and Los Angeles. Some of his exotic cars ride collections are a Porsche 911 Carrera, a Bentley Continental, a Cadillac Escalade, and a Mercedes-Benz E350. Fourth on our list is the African giant Burna Boy, who is another wealthy musician in the country, with a net worth currently valued at $40 million, which is equivalent to 12 billion naira. Burna Boy has been in the music industry for years, and his success skyrocketed around 2018. Since then, the singer has become an international singer with several concerts and awards. Burna Boy owns a massive multi-million naira mansion in Lekki. He has many cars in his ride collections, like a red hot Rolls-Royce, a Ferrari 458 Italia, a Bentley Continental, and a Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon, amongst others. This clearly shows that Burna was right for saying that his net worth, as revealed by reports on social media, is not close to his actual net worth of $40 million. Last on our list is Timaya, another popular Nigerian singer who has also acquired a lot of wealth through music. As many refer to him, the Plantain Boy has been in the Nigerian music industry for years. He started his musical career in 2005 and since then has continued to make huge progress with a net worth of $35 million, which is valued at 5 billion naira. Timaya owns a 250 million mansion in Lekki, and the singer owns a variety of cars like a Porsche 911 Carrera, a Range Rover Sport, a Mercedes-Benz AMG, a Mercedes-Benz GLE, a Bentley Continental GT, and a 2015 Lexus LX570, amongst others.
Wow. So looking at the net worth of these artists, I would say that Burna Boy is worth more than that.
Yes.
You know, he has been able to do amazing well for himself in the music industry over the years, you know, and this is someone that when it comes to business, he is really, you know, keen on not just doing good music, but also getting good money out of it.
Yes.
And this brings us to still the entertainment industry generating money. Yes, so much income for the Nigerian economy. I mean, entertainment is a very huge business sector in Nigeria because we have movies, we have music, we have skit makers, we have comedians, and you know, so we really encourage, you know, more of entertainment as to boost our economy. It's really going to go a long way. So that was a very cool one on entertainment news.
And with all this their money, they have to pay taxes.
Of course, yes, they have to pay their taxes.
As they're making the money, the government is also getting. So that's how the government generates its own money from them.
Yes. So, okay, so that's a very interesting one on entertainment news. And this brings us to the end of the morning cruise today. Thank you so much, viewers, for watching. And I really hope you all will have an amazing weekend. And while resting, please try to be your brother's keeper. Love one another and be law-abiding citizens as well. I am Yemuna Bagudu. Thanks for watching.
I'm Charles Moses. Thank you for watching.
So we'll see you same time, same station with a whole lot of exciting segments on the morning cruise. Have a lovely day.